What's up, it's Chris here. Welcome to another vlog. Today I'm going to show you how to build insane strength and muscle without doing a single rep. To be more clear, we'll actually be holding an exercise position for time versus performing an exercise for concentric or eccentric repetitions. When it comes to isometrics training, there's neither a concentric or eccentric contraction. Instead, it's constant tension that's placed on the muscle without lengthening or shortening the muscle. And just like exercises where you rep them out, isometrics exercises where you hold a position can build strength and muscle as well. In fact, isometrics training will also greatly strengthen your ligaments, tendons, and surrounding connective tissues, which are needed not only for more advanced exercises, but also heavier lifts and greater overloads. And the strength that you receive from doing isometrics holds and increasing your time under tension in these positions is different in the strength that you acquire from repetitions, so you want to make sure that you're doing both of them. For example, an experienced lifter that can lift 400 pounds or well over their body weight still won't be able to do a full planche if they're not training for it. Isometric strength and concentric and eccentric strength are two different types of strengths, but if you put them both together, you can get full planche push-ups and more advanced exercises that require an enormous amount of strength from both sides. And ever since I started incorporating isometrics training with concentric and eccentric training into my workout routine, I've never felt stronger. My strength and muscle gains have tremendously increased. Best of all, isometric exercises can always be done without weights, so they're easy to train anywhere. And you can always increase the resistance or the difficulty by adding more weight onto your body and doing the exercise, much like you would increase the weight in the gym. But for today, we're just gonna be using our own body weight, and for each exercise, we'll just be holding for time. I'm gonna start with the most advanced movement so you can see what you're working up towards, but I'll give you a progression for every fitness level. Work on the progression that you can do properly and do it with perfect form. As soon as you can master that one, you wanna move on to the next harder progression that I have for you, until you've built the strength and worked your way up the progressions to be doing the advanced exercise that I'm doing. Now, all these exercises are gonna work every single muscle in your body, but it's mainly gonna emphasize on your upper body, as your upper body is supporting the majority of your body weight. Your lower body is mainly used to stay engaged and balanced, helping to lift and stabilize the lower half of your body. So if you're ready to get started, make sure you've downloaded the Harrier Pro app in the App Store or Google Play Store. Open up to the YouTube workout section, you should find this routine and you're ready to go. The very first isometrics exercise we're gonna get into is gonna be full planche hold. This is a super advanced exercise that builds enormous upper body strength, lifting your entire body weight with straight arms from your waistline. Now, it definitely takes time to work your way up to this exercise, so as a beginner, the first progression you wanna start off working on is straight arm full planche leans. Make sure your arms are straight and locked out when you're leaning into your full planche leans. It only counts if your arms stay locked out because you're building your straight arm strength. So only lean as far as you can to where your body allows you to with straight arms. If you start bending your arms at any moment, you're doing it wrong. You need to start over and keep your arms straight, and that goes for any of the progressions, including the full planche hold. If you're intermediate, I want you working on the progression tuck planche with your arms locked out. For more in-depth detail and instruction on how to do these exercises and work your way up to the full planche, check out my video, How to Full Planche. All right, so for whichever progression you're choosing, you're gonna go for 3 attempts and hold it as long as you can. If you're at a higher progression on your second or third attempt, if you feel like you can't do it or you can't perform that progression with good form, go down to a previous regression like the planche leans and max those out. All right, let's go for it. All right, so there we have a full planche. Now you can give yourself at least 30 seconds to rest, regain your strength, and you can either try the same progression again or go for an easier progression and hold it for a longer amount of time. In this case, that would be something like a tuck planche hold. So we'll get down on the ground, make sure our arms are locked out. We're gonna transfer our body weight from our feet to our hands. As we look forward, keep our arms locked out and raise. All right, so there we have the tuck planche hold. Now, all of these exercises can be done on parallel bars as well. In fact, if you have some at home, I'd advise starting with them because it's a whole lot easier, but eventually you definitely want to move on to your hands on the ground. Doing these exercises with your hands on the ground is like 5 times more difficult, but you also gain 5 times more strength. If you can do them on the ground, you can basically do them anywhere. So now we have one last attempt. We can either stay at this progression or go down to an easier progression and hold it for longer time. So that would be the full planche lean. So let's get down on the ground. Have a good grip on the ground, pushing down with your scapulas, point your chin forward, and you're gonna lean until your hands get to your waistline, or just as far as you can go, while still maintaining locked out arms. Then you just wanna hold as far as you can lean. Now, eventually, the more you get better at this, you're gonna find yourself leaning further and further until your hands are by your waistline, and eventually you'll feel like your feet start to pick up off the ground because the majority of your body weight starts to go onto the other side. Now, this exercise is a killer for your chest, triceps, shoulders, abdominals, forearms, and lower back. And it's a very difficult exercise that requires a lot of strength, but you can definitely achieve it if you work up the progressions. You normally see Olympic gymnasts doing this exercise only holding it for about 3 to 4 seconds. But by the time you can hold the position like the full planche for 3 to 4 seconds, you would have developed a significant amount of strength and muscle. Now moving on to the next isometrics exercise, that's gonna be a handstand hold, emphasizing on your shoulders, your core, lower back, stabilization muscles, and upper body. Now I'm gonna go for the handstand hold, but for the intermediate athletes watching, I want you to go for the progression handstand hold against the wall, or if that's too difficult, just start off with an elevated pike hold. You're gonna build your strength in your arms and get used to being up inverted and upside down, then you can move on to the handstand hold against the wall. And for my beginner athletes, I want you to focus on the very first progression to mastering your handstand. That's gonna be the pike hold. So let's get down on the ground and hold it for as long as we can. All right, so there we have the handstand hold. You wanna take a second to catch your breath, regain your strength, and then you wanna go for 2 more attempts. Now you can go for a handstand hold again, or you can start working your way down the progressions. And for a full breakdown in detail of these exercises and a full list of progressions working your way up to the handstand, check out my video, How to Handstand. Now for our second attempt, I'm gonna demonstrate the easier progression. That's gonna be handstand hold against the wall. So we're gonna hold it as long as we can. Walk up. We're gonna get as close to the wall as possible. You want to be as straight as possible, pushing down with your arms, keeping your arms straight and locked out. If they start to bend, it's only a matter of time till you start coming down. All right, now we have one last attempt. I'm gonna move on to the beginner progression. That's gonna be a pike hold. So if you are already doing the beginner progression, you should go ahead and do it for your third attempt now. Let's get into a pike hold position. We're gonna go from a push-up position. We're gonna bring hips up, keeping our legs straight, core tight, and walk all the way up and pike as much as possible. And then lean forward, putting the majority of our weight on our hands. You want to be straight from your toes to your hips and your hands to your hips. Squeeze your core, shoulders, grip on the floor, everything. All right, there we have the pike hold. Now, make sure you start from the beginning and start mastering and building your strength up through these progressions. These were the same exact progressions that I did and used to get my handstand and full planche today. Now moving on to the next exercise, we're gonna be going into a front lever hold. And the progressions that I trained to build my strength to get there, this exercise is a killer for your back, rhomboids, traps, arms, core, and upper body. I'm gonna make my way over to the pull-up bar. You're gonna need to find a place to hang. I'm gonna start with the hardest progression. That's gonna be the front lever hold. For my intermediate athletes, I want you attempting a single leg tuck front lever hold. Make sure you're training with both legs, both sides. And for my beginner athletes, I want you just holding a tucked front lever hold. So choose your progression and go for the hold as long as you can. All right, so there we have the front lever hold. First attempt, let's take a second to catch our breath, regain our strength. The next one we're gonna get into, you can stay on this progression or you can move down to the previous progression if you've lost the strength to be able to do this progression properly. Just hold the easier progression for a longer amount of time. I promise the next time you're fresh and you try the progression that challenges you the most, you're gonna be so much better at it, you're gonna hold way longer and you're gonna feel a lot stronger in that position. So now I'll demonstrate the intermediate progression. That's gonna be single leg front lever hold. So we're gonna go up, bring in one leg, come out and hold. You want to make sure that your arms are straight and you're pushing from your lower hips.
Area music.
All right, so there we have it. Just like the full planche holds, perfect form is crucial. You need to have your arms locked out and you need to be emphasizing from your lower back. If you're not pushing from your lower back and trying to get your wrists and your belly button to meet, you're gonna have a really bent front lever, which is basically not a front lever. So make sure you're using perfect form. It's a lot of lat strength pulling down and almost like you're pushing your hips in like a deadlift. You wanna keep your legs straight. So like this, and lats. So now we're on our last attempt. We're gonna go for the easiest progression. Keep in mind, you don't wanna have a round back. You wanna be pushing with your lower back. We're gonna go for tucked front lever. So let's grab, raise our knees up, leaning back, engaging our lats, and picking our hips up. All right, so there we have the front levers. Now we're moving on to the last exercise for the isometrics training. That's gonna be a back lever hold, which is a killer isometrics hold for your upper body, from your chest, shoulders, tricep, lower back, and so much more, including your glutes and lower body as well. I'm gonna go for the back lever hold. For my intermediate athletes, I want you going for a single leg back lever hold. And for my beginner athletes, I just want you doing a tucked back lever hold. So let's get into position and hold it for as long as we can. All right, so there we have the back lever hold. Let's take a second to catch our breath. Now I'm gonna demonstrate the single leg back lever hold. So let's breathe in through our nose. Exhale, let's go for it. Remember to do both legs. All right, so there we have the single leg back lever. Definitely a killer for the split of your chest if you've never tried that before. Now we're gonna move into our last attempt with the beginner progression. Remember, you can stay at the progression you're at or move on to an easier progression, but just make sure that you're holding it for a longer amount of time and using perfect form. So if you're ready, let's go for the last attempt. I'm gonna bring your legs up. Just put your feet through the bar. Look forward behind you. Once your back is flat, you're gonna engage. Squeeze your grip, squeeze your core, and hold. When you're ready to come down, you can either drop down or you can come back all the way around, and that is the tucked back lever. Now all these progressions, if you train them properly and strengthen them in order, will definitely lead you to the final exercise, the final result. They're the same progressions that I use to build my strength and work my way up to do the more advanced exercises. And for a more in-detail breakdown of how to do the back lever, check out my video, How to Back Lever. Now that's gonna be it for this routine. I already have a crazy pump and we haven't done any reps at all, just holding our body in different positions. So if you were able to get through this workout with me, congratulations. You're on your way to developing some insane isometric strength, taking your training to the next level. And the more you train like this, you'll eventually be able to go for more rounds. And to benefit the most out of this routine, you want to be able to do it at least 3 to 4 rounds. That's the same way that I train this routine. In fact, to get this full routine on your phone, as well as full access to all my personal workouts and workout programs that I've created with specific goals in mind, like building solid muscle while simultaneously getting shredded with minimal to no equipment, make sure you've downloaded the Harrier Pro app in the App Store, and make sure you upgrade your account to a member at harrierpro.com so that you can have full access to all my routines and take my workouts with you everywhere. It's like having me as a personal trainer right in your pocket. Now, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you want the next video to be about. I'll be in the comment section checking all your comments for ideas for the next video. And don't forget to share this video with a friend that wants to make some strength and muscle gains without doing a single rep. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I post every single Thursday, 2 p.m. USA Eastern Time. And if you comment within the first 30 minutes, you always have a chance to win some free Harrier gear. And speaking of Harrier apparel, I'm dropping my very first Harrier collection this December. A lot of the apparel dropping in this collection you've seen in previous videos, like the white track pants, black track pants, camo windbreakers, workout shorts, and even the pants that I'm wearing right now. Get ready for the drop. We're definitely gonna sell out. So to know as soon as it drops, make sure you're following me on Instagram. Also, every single post, I always do a giveaway. I'll definitely be doing some giveaways with the new Harrier collection. So if you want a chance to be a part of that, make sure you're following me on IG. And with that said, I'll see you next Thursday, 2 p.m. USA Eastern Time. Mad love, peace out.